My tits don't lie and a slibbity-dibbity.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I was just doing some vocal warm-ups in preparation for this new video. A couple years ago, I did a video where I played Doom and, like, talked over it. And it was a rousing success, got, like, hundreds of millions of views, was shared far and wide on all of social media. So I thought, what if I did that thing I did, but, like, again, like a second time? So I decided, yeah, I'll record myself playing a video game and talking over it. This is a thing that I don't think anybody's done before. It's a brand new, fresh, original form of gaming-based entertainment that I'm sure is going to become the next big thing. I call it JD Plays. If you want to make your own video in this style, like make your own JD Plays, that's fine. But if you make any money off of it, you're gonna have to give me like 80% of the royalties. Get fucked. 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 Thank you. Yeah, so... So I'm a latecomer to Doom. I never played it when it first came out, because I was a tiny child at the time. Well, actually, when the original came out, I didn't even exist yet. I was just, I was still chilling in the void, hanging out in this cool state of non-existence. I miss those days, back before I had to, do or experience or think about anything. It was nice. It's gonna be nice to get back to that someday. But yeah, I didn't play Doom until I was in, like, high school. But I like it because the enemies are... They're like those funny little guys, like the silly men. Yeah, they're just like that. But this is TNT Evilution. It was one half of Final Doom that came out in 1996, at which point nobody really gave a shit about Doom anymore. So people were pissed off that they had to pay money for what was basically just the same game again. Like, they should have just called it Doom again. That's pretty much what it was. And yeah, I can understand that, because this is like Doom 1 quality maps, which would be fine if this was Doom 1, but it's not. And I don't really understand why people are depressed or horrified by the inevitability of death, because, like, would you rather live forever? That sounds horrifying. That's depressing. Yeah, when my time is up, I'd like to stop existing forever. Thank you very much, because existing kind of sucks sometimes. So to give a quick recap on some of the things I talked about in the previous Doom video, I talked about this experiment that I took part in a couple years ago. I only did it because they were paying a lot of money to do it, and I needed the money at the time. It was this company, this like shadowy corporation, put me in this machine which like scanned the exact position and chemical composition of every molecule in my body, and then 3D printed 4 exact duplicates. They didn't tell me this was going to happen. They said that I was just going to get in the machine and then get out, and they would ask me some questions and then give me my check. And they didn't give any more details than that. I went into this machine once, but I came out 5 times. The 5 of us quickly realized that we all shared the same set of memories. We all remembered going into that lab and getting in the machine. So we quickly realized that we had no way of knowing which of us was the original. Or honestly, like, for all we knew, the guy who went into that lab was gone. Maybe he died in the machine, and all 5 of us were, didn't exist until like 5 minutes ago. The original JD, whichever one of us he was, if he was any of us, they made him get in the machine naked. And so they gave these 5 guys 1 set of clothes back. So it was really awkward. It's like, 1 fully clothed guy and then 4 completely naked dudes who looked exactly alike, just walking out of this lab. It was pretty awkward. And we drew straws to decide who would keep the original JD's identity and his job, and which of us would take on new names and new identities and have to get new jobs. Obviously, I drew the short straw, so I'm JD now. I'm not gonna say the names of these other 4 guys, because that I want to respect their privacy. So we all got our own jobs, we all split around our own apartment. Things were fine for a while, it wasn't like in the movies where, the clones all turn on each other. Like, we actually, for the most part, got along. We were all the same guy, of course we would. Except for one of us. He just had trouble holding down a job, and of course, that caused him to struggle to pay his share of the rent. He drank too much. Like, we were all, getting pretty fed up with his shit. finally, the last straw was when he came home one night and said, "So you know those guys who did that experiment, who duplicated us? I went back to them, and I did the experiment again. They duplicated me, and we were, kind of pissed off, because it's like, why would you do that without telling us? Like, the existential dread of not knowing which of us was the original, not knowing where we came from, if the memories of our childhoods were real, or if we'd just been created a couple years ago with those memories already in our heads. That was a big source of anxiety and existential dread, and now there's even more of us, because this dude went and did this thing without telling us. So that was pretty shitty. We finally decided at that point, we can't keep living with this guy, we can't keep doing this. Ah, shit. And we made him move out. Don't know where he ended up, or where the duplicates that were created from him ended up. We never met them. If he was even telling the truth, I mean, we don't know. There's just so much about the situation that we don't know or understand. We don't know why these people did this experiment in the first place. I think perhaps they just serve some sort of dark god that feeds on pain and suffering, and they intentionally did this experiment because they knew it would cause us a lot of existential dread and anxiety and suffering. They wanted to harvest our Garmin Bosia. But anyway, so the four of us who remained after we kicked the traitor out, we got to talking about it, and at first we just kind of assumed that when these people did this experiment and duplicated us, they had done something to him. They had, printed him wrong or something, and that's why he was different. That's why he was such an asshole. That was easier to believe. But eventually it occurred to all of us, what if he was the original? Because, we thought we knew ourselves. We remembered JD from before he was duplicated. And we thought we knew, he wouldn't do something like that. But we don't know if any of those memories were accurate. That's all we had to go on, was our memories, and we know that at least some of us didn't actually experience those things. Those were false memories that we had just been created with already in our heads. I don't know. It's really hard to describe. It's hard to think about. It kind of feels like I won the lottery, but instead of just mailing me a check, they just mail me a can of beans, right? I go back inside from getting this can of beans out of the mailbox. There's a small boy sitting in my bed, and I have to make him eat the beans. I can't physically force feed it to him. I have to just use my words, my wiles and guiles and crafty styles to convince him that it's in his best interest to eat this whole can of beans. And only after he has consumed this entire can of beans, every bean in the can, only then does he vomit up my winnings. And it's all in one, so it takes 15 minutes for it all to get out. And then he goes into my closet, and he just has to stay in there. I'm not allowed to open that closet ever again, because if I do, I forfeit my winnings. No matter what sounds I hear coming from inside there, I just have to leave it closed. Forever. That's kind of how it feels. I'm not even sure what I mean by that, but that's what it feels like.